Of course, since the last year when you were at Comic-Con and there was such a great response to Being Human, it's been announced there's an American version.
Yeah.
Surely it can't just be a simple matter of changing location and characters' names. Is there how much of a wrench is it going to be to see what you've created be translated?
It will be a wrench, but I'll console myself with the money. I mean, to be honest, I'm not involved with the American production, and I say that without any kind of sense of rancor at all. I think that I'm more than happy for them to carry on and do it the way they do. They understand the American TV model always better than I do, and so and also I think if they were to slavishly adhere to the British version, I think then they would come proper. I think it's much more important, and it gives the show a much better chance of having any longevity if they make the show quintessentially American in the way that the British version is quintessentially British. And I don't think that you know, I'm not really involved, but I think that's going to have what they're going to have to do for it to survive.
What do you think it is that makes the show quintessentially British?
There are a lot of references to tea. I don't know, I mean, I'll tell you what it is. Instead of going back to your first question, I think that the main thing that differentiates a UK TV show to an American TV show is simply the budget. The budget on Being Human is probably the budget for another show's catering. The budget for Being Human is absolutely tiny. But what it means is that we had to invent there's a very British way of doing science fiction on television. The budgets for British shows have always been very, very small. There was a UK sci-fi show which I grew up watching called Syfy and Steel. Of course, if there's any audience that would have heard of it. But constantly, Syfy and Steel was clearly made for about £7, and it meant that the writer had to rely on kind of suggestion. And so that word was alluded. But consequently, it means that you hear the monster scratching on the other side of the door, but you'll never see it because they hadn't got the budget to make it. And it means that we've had to rely on inference and suggestion in a way that maybe American shows don't have to, because they've got the budget to actually make the monsters. And I think that's something we've done in Being Human that maybe they won't have to do on the American version. So the way that we did death in Being Human is simply the door. And everyone said, oh God, how clever, oh God, yes, death's door, brilliant. We did a door because that was all we could afford. That was kind of what they had in the prop store. I guess that's going to be the main